squad, have you seen us? Listen to the music, pay attention to the genius. I took some time off, but I came back. I apologize for the sudden inconvenience. Excuse me, cause I'm feeling myself right now, and I can't calm down, cause I'm back now and taking you back down. Memory lane, baby, before we was famous, before the hiatus, before we had haters, when we was doing shows and nobody would pay us, when we was at the station and they still wouldn't play us, but we stayed on the ground so they can't say that they made us. Okay then, but it's cool that it stay like that, and you may think it's new, but it came like that. Everybody get a chance, let me state my facts. They said I fell off, but I came right back. Yeah, I came right back. Let's retrace my tracks. Before you heard of Jason, there was A-Town stat. My baby said she like it when I sing like that, so I'ma give it to him like I did way back. And it feels so good. Hey, hey, sing it. You know it feels so good. And it feels so good. Yeah. You know it feels so good. And it feels so good. Hey, let me hear you sing it now. You know it feels so good. And it feels real, 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 real good. Real good. Ooh, I got the juice. You want the answers, I got the proof. You had the music up by the noose. You tried to kill it, well I cut it loose. I've been at it for so long. A lot of people probably feel I'm so wrong. Never had a chance to put my crew on, so I'm thankful that the bond we got is too strong. Get it by the fast track, we passed that. Yeah, you know we had to backtrack to get.
And we are live. Happy Prime Day number 2. Need some lights on back here. Hey Siri, turn on the twinkly squares. There we go. And hey Siri, turn on the birds. How's everyone's Prime Day going? Hope you're finding some last minute sales. I've actually only bought one thing this Prime Day, or Prime Days, and that was some 3D printer filament I bought last night. You guys seen anything good? But today, this show is going to be about Apple Home, Apple HomeKit. So if you're a smart home person like I am, absolutely love my smart home, love building it, love I don't want to say I love maintaining it because it's a pain in the rear end sometimes, but at the end of the day it's pretty cool. So, and I have dabbled in other ecosystems. I've dabbled with Alexa and Google Home and some other platforms I'm using at the same time. I use Homey Pro a lot, and I know I should be getting into products like Habitat and Home Assistant. Everyone keeps telling me I gotta go into Home Assistant. I know, it's just I don't have enough time in the day. So today we are going to spend probably about an hour just talking about products that I found that I love, that I actually use in my smart home, that work with Apple Home, and they're on sale today. So love for you to join in. If you're new here, my name is Eric. If you're watching on YouTube, come on over. If you want to, come over to Amazon, come shop with me. You guys can see the deals that I'm looking at. You guys can see the pricing, and you can interact over on Amazon, or you can stay on YouTube. It's totally up to you. Jason is here. What's going on, dude? Good to see you. Thanks for coming on by. So did you pick up anything else for Prime Day? Or are you still holding off? All right. So I got a bunch of, the way that works, I have a bunch of products in the carousel. If you're on mobile, down below. If you're on desktop, it'll probably be over towards your left, and you guys can see. If you're on Amazon, you can see the products that I'm going to be talking about. I got some locks. I have some smart outlets, some smart thermostats, some smart switches, a bunch of really cool, great stuff that I use every day in my smart home. It's not just things that are on sale. these things are products I actually use. Jason says he's holding off. I forgot I can post these. There we go. Jason says nothing. I'm holding off. Yeah, totally get it. I've only bought one thing, and that was a 3D printer filament that I bought last night. It was kind of like we were talking about it on another stream. I was like, oh, I really need that because I ran out of a color and I totally forgot. I was going to buy it the other day, but it was on Prime sale, the one that I want, and it was $12 off. So save a little bit of money. It doesn't happen too often because I usually just buy it when I need it. So let's talk about smart locks. And today we're going to be looking at two of them. First one recently came out. I have a video and we can talk about it as we watch the little video. Have to pull that up. Hey Jason, how's the background music? Is it too loud? Can you hear me okay, or should I turn that down? All right, we're going to first talk about their core lock, the U50. This is their, not the newest lock, but did recently come out. The U200 is their newest, which I'm in the process of testing out right now. Thanks, Jason. I appreciate it. All right, where is this video? Why can I not find this video? Oh, I know why. Because I'm in the wrong folder. All right, let me know if you can hear me while the video plays. You should be able to because the video is totally muted. So I'm just got to pull up the right folder. All right, here we go. So you should still be able to see me in the corner as the video is playing. So this original video was a comparison between the U100, which came out, I don't know, what is it, a year ago, and the U50. They both look very similar, and really the only difference between the U100 and U50 is the fingerprint reader. So the U50 does not have a fingerprint reader. The one on the left is the U100 that has a fingerprint reader. The one on the right does not. If you want the fingerprint reader, it's extra $32, I think, today. Right now, you can get the U50 for only $99, $100. Plus the U50, you can easily rekey it for a Schlage lock, where the U100 is very, very difficult. I have not figured out a way to rekey it unless you buy a U50 and take that cylinder out of the U50 and put it in the U100. And at that point, you're just wasting money, in my opinion, because you shouldn't be using keys anyways. But I like to have the same key on all my door locks, and having the ability to rekey it is a huge plus for me. But smart locks altogether are really, really useful. And the great thing about this one, the U100 to the U50. Mike Q, what's up, dude? Thanks for coming by. I get it. Listening while you're working. I do it all the time. Yep, everything's good. Hope you're doing well too. So, just wrapping up Prime Day number dos. What do you think of it? Mike says he has the U50. So what I was talking about is, I forget what I was talking about. The U50 is great because it has Apple HomeKey, just like the U100. So if you're a Apple user, you can simply take your phone or your Apple Watch and put it right up to the lock, and it will automatically unlock. So cool, so easy. So if that is a feature that you love as much as I do and many, many other people, you can get that feature for now less than $100. Where I remember, what was one of the first locks that came out with HomeKey? Was that the Schlage? I don't remember what was the very first one, but I know the Schlag was over $300. It's still, the Schlag is like 270, 280, something like that. And it was great. I love it. It's still one of my favorite smart locks to date. But you know, why spend $200-300 for Apple HomeKey when you can get it for $100? Mike says, I have the white Q set and the battery died so fast. Using lock and home assistant with Matter. Cool. Yeah, I know. I gotta get into home assistant. I don't have any quick set locks. I saw them one year at CES, but never actually got one. I think they only have 1 or 2 models that work with Apple Home. Mike says the Schlag is $429. Yep, Canadian dollars. Yeah, kind of pricey. Jason has the U100. Mike says rekeying is incredible, though, Eric. Yeah. Yeah, I love rekeying all my locks. I actually do all my locks. I used to have to take it to Home Depot or Lowe's and pay the fee. It used to be $5. I don't know what it is now. But I have a rekey kit and I just do it all myself. It's really simple. As long as those pins are the size that they should be in the U100, in the cylinder, the pins are not the right size. And they just adjusted that cylinder just enough to not be able to rekey it using standard Schlag pins, or I even took it to a locksmith and they could not figure out how to rekey it, no matter if it was Schlag or quick sets or any other type of lock. They could not figure out what those pins were from or where they got that sizing, and they just gave up. Yeah, so Quickset has that little tool that you stick in and you can rekey it. But I think even the Quicksets that you don't have that quick reset key or the rekeying kit that's built into it, you can still rekey. You can take apart that cylinder and still replace the pins as you need to. But you know, I don't do too much with the Quickset. So that is the U50 on sale today for only $100. Let me show you what this is all about. Absolutely love Apple HomeKey. Prime Day deal. Whoop. Let's change this to, there we go. That way you guys can see. Move this up a little bit. There we go. So 33% off. And this was launched, what, a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago. And this is the cheapest that's been so far. So if you're looking for a affordable, decent, good lock that has Apple HomeKey, then this is the cheapest one, $100. And I've been using it, and I like it. All right, next item is another smart lock with Apple HomeKey. This particular one does not look like a smart lock at all. That's why people love it. And let's see what the pricing is. If I can spell correctly, that would help. All right, Level Lock Plus. So let's do this one with the keypad. I don't know if that's the plus. I think it's this one right here. So normally $329. They have a bunch of different colors. I got the one that's matte black. I love this lock. It's on my back door. The only downside to this is the battery life just doesn't last that long. It's probably maybe every 2-3 months now. I don't know. It used to be a little bit better. and it's just not as good as it used to be for whatever reason. I mean, I'm replacing the batteries, but it keeps eating the batteries up for whatever reason. And you can see here is on my back deck, on that back door right there, and it looks like a normal lock, but you can touch it and it will lock. So this is different than level lock touch, by the way. This is level lock plus, that you can put your phone or Apple Watch and they will unlock really quick and easy. And then you can press it again and it will lock. So it's really cool. It's a little bit more pricey, $250, but you get the look of not having a smart lock, because all the smart stuff is built in. And then when you have to change out the battery, I think it's part of this video. Let's see if I can show you. That's the keypad. Keypad is sold separately and it's Bluetooth, and the battery on the keypad is pretty bad also. Let's see. Do I show how to change the battery on the level lock? But you actually change the battery. I don't have footage of it, but you actually change the battery right there in the deadbolt. You just unscrew that end right there, and you have to replace it. I think it's a CR123 battery. Don't quote me on that battery size, but you can find them on Amazon. Mike says it'd be nice if all smart locks got this design. Yeah. You can't tell that it's a smart lock. You really cannot. So I actually seen reviewers keep the level lock guts, and then they put another smart lock on top of it. I don't understand why. Just remove the guts and put a regular deadbolt in there and a latch in there. I thought that was pretty funny when I saw that. I forgot who it was. But there's the keypad. It's sold separately. I don't know how much the keypad is, but if you have people that you want to give out codes to, you can definitely do that easily. But just keep an eye on that battery life. You don't get notifications of the keypad battery life, unfortunately. And like I said, it's pretty terrible when it comes to battery life. So definitely monitor it. But if you're looking for a smart lock that doesn't look like a smart lock, and you don't mind the additional costs, and you still get Apple HomeKey, then this one, get 24% off today at $250. Normally $329, and comes in a bunch of colors, but this is the one that I got in matte black. All right, moving on to some Eve products. So Eve Home has been an Apple Home player for a very, very long time. And they've just, in the last, 2 years, they started branching out with their Matter products. And now all their Matter products you can use in Alexa and Google Home and other platforms that use Matter. But I think they still kind of, they're an Apple Home lover at heart. Not outdoor. I'm looking for Eve Energy Outlet. All right, so they brought out a Eve outlet, energy outlet. Probably when did this come out? About 8 months ago, maybe a year ago. I don't remember exactly. So this is a built-in outlet, smart outlet. It's not one of these little plugs that you plug into your standard outlet. You actually have to fully replace the outlet altogether. And if you're not knowledgeable in electricity and wires and that kind of stuff, definitely hire a professional. And this one is on sale today. Normally $50, and you get 30% off for $34.95. Let's play a little quick video to show you it in action. And it's really easy to install. There's instructions, and there's lots and lots of video. I think even my video that I did on this, I went step by step on how to replace this. So you can see here I'm using it with my HomePod Mini, but you can use this with any Matter controller or platform. Like I said, you can use this with Alexa, Google Home, and this is what it looks like. So you do have physical switches on there. So if you want to have the ability to press a button, you can definitely turn them on and off right there at the outlet. And there are also little indicator lights to let you know if it's on and off. And then it does monitor the energy that you're using in this outlet. Unfortunately, it's for both outlets. They're not individually monitored, so it's going to be both outlets together when you're looking into the app to see how much energy you're using. Very similar to their plug that they had for years, but now it is a standard outlet. You just plug in your lamps or whatever else you can put. You know, I use smart plugs and outlets like this for my wife's curling iron because she leaves it on all the time. Which, by the way, this is a tool from Klein Tools that I use to find what switch or what breaker to turn off when I'm replacing outlets. Really useful tool. So if you're replacing a lot of outlets like I do, definitely a very handy tool that you must have. Highly recommend that tool. So just gives you a little beep when you come across the breaker like it did right there. Replace the outlet, pull it out, make sure power is off. Like I said, if you don't know what you're doing, hire a professional. And then you just put the wires together, make sure the load and the lines are correctly, the grounds, neutrals. This does require a neutral wire, so you have to make sure you have a neutral wire at your location. Tuck it all back in, put on the faceplate, and you're good to go. Go back down, and you can turn it back on, and you can have your smart outlet. I do have this synced with a physical switch right here on the wall. This is a Core double switch, but it's a single gang. So one switch is actually hardwired to light in the ceiling, and that bottom switch is actually automated or synced with the nightstand lights that are plugged into the Eve outlet. So when I press that button, it's not hardwired into anything. It just goes through my automation, which is an Apple Home. And when that switch is on, it turns on the lamps on my nightstands. And when it's off, it turned off the light on my nightstand. So really cool and useful. But there's so many different automations you can create with smart plugs and smart outlets like this. And so if you're in the market for something that doesn't look like a smart plug, that's what I love about smart outlets is they don't look smart. They look like a normal outlet, and but they are smart. Yeah, the double rocker. So Mike, did you see, I did the video probably 3 years ago when that double rocker came out, the single gang with dual switches that I spray painted it. I did not like the white. I put it in my kitchen and I spray painted it black because all my other switches in the kitchen are black. And it's still there today. I'm surprised that it's still lasting and still working today. So yeah. I wish Core would come out with other colors, which, by the way, Lutron released their new Pico remotes, the Diva remotes, in a bunch of new colors. But I wish our Core would come out with a bunch of new colors also. But, they're just all white. I understand. It costs a lot of money to do additional colors, and you don't know if it's going to sell well. So, I can understand why companies just do single color and totally get it. But yeah, I said not to do it because I didn't know, if it was actually going to last. But now it's like 3 years in. But also, there's so many different spray paints out there on the market. And, if you spray paint it wrong, If it gets into the grooves between the buttons, it could mess up. So I think I just got lucky that it doesn't really mess up. Every once in a while, the button might get stuck, but you can just press it again and it'll get unstuck. So yeah, I don't recommend it because there's no guarantee that it's going to continue working. But 3 years in, mine's still going. Yeah, white is the most popular. It definitely is. But every now and then you have a place. Like I have black switches here in the office because I have the black wall. I did a video on those. There's a Lutron Diva in black. And then in my kitchen, I also have black up against the granite backsplash. The white switches on in the kitchen, those are on the main wall, but on the backsplash, they're all black. All right, so that is the Eve Energy outlet. And we got more Eve Energy. This is the Eve Energy light strip, not light strip, outlet strip. Let's see. Look who's here. What's up, Orion? Yes, you did. You found my live stream, and we are talking about Apple Home. I know you're into some smart home stuff, but I don't think you're an Apple Home user. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you, if I remember, you use Alexa. Sorry if I'm triggering your Alexa. Actually, I have most of mine programmed for computer. I probably just triggered my computer over there. He says, you have like 4 channels. Yeah, I have a bunch of YouTube channels, a bunch of TikToks and Twitters and Instagrams. And I got a couple that are hidden also that I'm really not posting to. And then I have a couple people that run those additional channels for me. And just because I just don't have the time to do it. So yeah, I put out a lot of stuff and I have fun with it. He says he does use Lady A, the Amazon assistant. Yeah, I have her too. She's pretty cool, but I just don't think their interface is quite as user-friendly as Apple Home. And I got into Apple Home years and years ago because I'm a Mac'd out guy. Like I love Apple stuff, and I just think it integrates together. All their products just work together as they should. And having Apple Home just makes it a lot easier. Having it all in one device and working together. And one of the original Apple HomeKit product providers was actually Eve Energy, and they made this Eve Energy strip years and years ago, and it is on Prime Day sale today, normally $100. It's on sale for $70, and it has 3 outlets. It does have energy monitoring also, but remember it's for if I remember correctly, is it all outlets or just one outlet? I don't remember. So I have to look that up. I don't use the energy monitoring on the power strip, on the energy strip. But I actually use this for my studio lights. It's up there on the rack where I have all my lights hanging from the ceiling, and this is plugged in, so I can just tell it to turn. I have a Siri scene that I'm not going to say because it's going to trigger it, and it's going to turn on all the studio lights, and that's how I do it with the Eve Energy light strip. Ryan asks, I'm curious if Amazon will continue to support Alexa devices because they don't appear to be making any new ones. Well, I think they're losing a ton of money. There was a report, I don't know if it was a year or 2 ago, and they lose so much money making those devices, and they're not getting it back. They're in it for the long game, but it's just, I don't think they anticipated it's taken so long for people to get into smart homes. And I kind of understand it because it's so confusing. And when things don't work the way that it should, then people get upset, and they don't want to deal with the headache, and they don't want to deal with the costs. Having to update all these things all the time when new things come out and things stop working, it's a headache. You just want to buy something, bring it home, and make sure that works. And when it doesn't work, then they're not happy. But yeah, I think they're still going to be in it. They're in it for the long game. And I think a lot of other major players are in it for the long game, and they're actually doubling and tripling down on things. So, at $70, Mike, the strip is worth it. At $100, there's other ones on the market that are just as usable for probably about half the price, but the build quality is not as nice. Nice thing about Eve is that their build quality is top notch. I think pretty much all their products are also UL listed. So if you're concerned about that, I think all their products are certified. Where, if you go with like Miris is another one. I forget who else makes these light strips or energy strips. They're not certified, and the build quality is not as nice, but they work. So if you want good looking, effective stuff that's going to last, then Eve is the way to go. Plus, this is black and silver, and that goes up onto my lights, my light stand or light hanging thing from the ceiling, which is black also, so it kind of just blends in. I didn't want to spray paint another huge outlet. I would if I have to. Ryan says I have the Casa Smart Power Strip. Yep, I've seen those. They're so nice. Mine shuts down most of my office for overnight hours. Cool. Do you set up any, I think Alexa calls them routines, where you can just like walk in and say, Lady A, it's showtime, and all your lights in different devices turn on? Or do you have a routine or a scene that you can say, shut down, office or something? Have you programmed all that for your studio? Mike has the Casa also. I have a couple TP-Link Casa stuff. Hey, here's a question. Do you know of any smart power strip with a smart USB port? So yes. The Miris that I was talking about earlier has USB ports on there also that are smart. I actually have it. It's down in my living room. And there's a couple different versions. I'm going to pull that for you. And it's a limited time deal. So this one right here, $32. Like I said, the Miris is a lot more affordable. This has 4 outlets. And then right here on the side, it has 4 USB. The one I have only has 3 and 3. And then the USB is actually one on and off button within either the Miris app or your smart home assistant. So you can turn off or on all those USB ports all at the same time. You can't individually control them, but you can turn them all off or turn them on. And then each individual outlet you can turn on and off also. And this is a Wi-Fi one. So if you're looking for something that's great, $32, 78 cents. So that's a great deal. And I do have the smaller one that's a 3x3. And it's very responsive. I've never had an issue. I've had problems with some other Miris products, but this one turns on the lights all the time. All right, Ryan says they usually only turn the outlets on and off. Yeah, so the mirrors has the outlets, the USB ports that turn on and off also. He does use Alexa routines, very cool. And he does have voice routines for his TV and closet for my live shows. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know what we ever did without smart home stuff. I guess we would have to get up and do turn on and turn off everything ourselves. But I think the holy grail of a smart home is not having to tell it what to do. It's just going to know what to do. So having like motion sensors, occupancy sensors, and just having everything programmed ahead of time, and as things interact with each other, things just work. And that is a smart home to me. So having voice assistants and apps, using those types of programs, yes, they're useful. But that to me, that's just kind of just convenience. Where actual smart home should be smart. It should be able to know what to do. And I think one day we'll get there, slowly. I do have a bunch of stuff that automatically does stuff like, if we all leave the house, everything shuts down. Lights outside, which I have the LifeX outdoor lights. These come on at sunset and off at sunrise. So I got a bunch of things that are time-based. I have motion sensors and contact sensors. So that's all smart. But I think a lot of my smart home, I'm still personally, I'm either using voice assistants most of the time or actually physical controls. Occasionally I might go into the Apple Home app and control it there, but I'm still a big user, as my family and friends are too, of physical control. So you got to keep in mind, just because you have all this smart stuff doesn't mean that people know how to use it. Until your house gets super smart and can do it on its own, you're going to need physical controls also. And I actually did a video on physical controls years and years ago. It's because you gotta have them. Yeah, that Mirror's Power Strip. They got a couple different versions, so I think I have the 3, and I just showed you the 4. And I don't know if they have any other ones, but I've definitely seen those too. Like I says, I don't go crazy about it, but I do my best to get Zigbee instead of Wi-Fi. I've never seen a power strip not being Wi-Fi. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any power strips. Yeah, I think they're all Wi-Fi. Which I'm quite surprised Eve have not released one that is Thread, to be honest. Yeah. I can't think of one either. I don't know. I have to think about that. The good old days when we had to walk to the light strip and flip it on. Yep. And our grandparents used to have to walk up to the TV and actually turn the dial. Wasn't Nanoleaf supposed to be putting out something like that? Yeah, so the last 2 years at CES, they've been having their smart learning, I forget what they call it, learning switch or something like that. But they've never actually brought it to market. So it'd be nice. Lots of companies talk about this stuff all the time. And I wish more companies would have multiple sensors or the ability to have stuff all in one light switch. So there's a couple companies that put their voice assistants into a light switch or a motion sensor. Absolutely love those types of stuff. You should not see your smart home. So I hate seeing HomePods, even though they sound great. I hate seeing them out in the open. I hate seeing contact sensors on all my exterior doors. The contact sensors I actually drilled into the door just because I hate looking at them. So I have ones that are hidden. I just think smart homes should be hidden, out of sight, and if they can combine a lot of these sensors all into one device that just looks like a light switch on the wall, but it's also maybe a motion sensor, occupancy sensor, temperature sensor, all in one, that's more ideal for me, just because I don't want to see all that stuff. So hopefully we're getting more of that in the future. All right, Ryan, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it, as always. He is also another live streamer on Amazon, and he has a brand new, or sort of new, I don't know how new it is, but I know you told me about it this morning, a YouTube channel called Shaver Dude, if I remember correctly. So, Ryan, put your link, put your channel into the comments, and people can check you out. So if you're into shavers, which I definitely need a shave, this thing's getting a little long. My wife is been telling me you gotta shave it, gotta trim it up. I use a lot of Manscaped stuff. It's pretty good. So, Mike says most of his house is automated. I'm trying not to use any voice commands at all. Yeah. So you have lots and lots of motion sensors, occupancy sensors. Yeah. I can't wait for an occupancy sensor that is battery operated. I think there's a few out there on the market that are classified as occupancy sensor, but they're just pretty much motion sensor. I think the Echo B, the one that works with thermostat, which is in the carousel down below, it's classified as a occupancy sensor, but doesn't work that well. So temperature sensor in that little device is good, but as far as an occupancy sensor, I don't think so. Let's check it out. There's this channel, Shave a Dude. Really cool channel, really cool dude. So definitely check him out. A lot of motion sensors, no FP2. Yeah. So the FP2, one, it's extremely overpriced for what it is. Two, I think their marketing team just got carried away for what it could do. I did a video about the fall detection, and unless the person falls within a 6-foot radius, it's not going to detect that someone fell. And as you get further away from that 6 foot, like around 5 to 6 feet, it wasn't that sensitive. So unless the same person or the person falls into the same place all the time under that sensor, what's the point of it? So you got to have a real good situation or scenario where you're only staying on 6 feet. And I just don't think that's realistic. And then as far as having multiple zones, yes, it works, but it doesn't work all the time. And having something that turns on and off lights as you're walking around, and you start have ghosting issues, and more people that come into there, it just gets confusing. And then having it have power all the time, and having to have it in a very specific location, which I understand that's a requirement of occupancy sensors. You have to have placement is everything. But if you can have a battery operated one, which I just dream of, that'd be more ideal. So having a wire on there and just having all the issues with, the ghosting, everything else, and not being reliable for, I think it was like started out at $80. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool when it worked, but it just didn't work all the time. And people saw that at the very beginning, like their first reviews. So for the people who first got it, actual consumers, they complained about this. And I got it early and I was like, no, this thing is not ready. It's not ready for mainstream. But people still put out a good review out there just because it was cool. Which I understand, you guys say it's cool and everything is new, but it's not. It wasn't a product ready for the mass market for $80. Yeah, it's not worth it. But the FP1, which you can't get in the United States unless you order it from like Alibaba and those overseas websites, but that's just a basic occupancy sensor, and I think they're like 20 or 30 bucks, super cheap, and they do one job, and they just occupancy sensor, where you can have a motion sensor turn on light really fast, and then the occupancy sensor does a great job of detecting if someone's still there or not, and it just turns off the light. Does one thing, it does it well. It doesn't have fall detection, it doesn't have multi-person, multi-zone. It doesn't need that. Yeah, it'd be cool if it worked all the time, but the FP2 just doesn't. So I love the FP1. I think I have like 7 FP1s in my house. So it'd be nice if they brought it to the United States and make it a lot easier for people to get on Amazon. All right. Let's see. Mike, I appreciate you being here. Ryan, you too. It makes the stream a lot funner. And I'm not even talking about most of the products in my carousel. It's just okay. All right, where were we? Live FP2, live motion sensors. Yeah. What's your go-to motion sensor, Mike? Doesn't the best smoke detector work as an occupancy sensor? So what is the best smoke detector? Is that a Nest? Yeah, the wire makes no sense at all. Yeah. I understand why it needs a wire, because it uses so much energy and power, but it would be more ideal if it didn't need it. Too expensive for me to justify, yeah. Yeah, it's always cool talking to you, dude. Hugh. Nest, sorry. So it is. Are you saying it is Nest? That's the smoke detector that you're referring to, or are you saying sorry, Nest is not the right answer? Does Hugh have a smoke detector? I don't think they do. I could be wrong, but yeah, I heard great things about the Nest. The only Nest product that I currently have is the Nest doorbell, the wired doorbell. Absolutely love it. It works with the Starlink hub, and that's how I bring into Apple Home. No, I haven't tried their millimeter, their presence sensors. So the only presence sensor that I have right now is from their core. What's up, Will? Good to have you here, buddy. Yeah, Nest. I think Nest has an occupancy sensor, if I recall. Starlink is amazing. Like, it's just, I haven't logged into Starlink in years, and just because it always works. And I know it constantly gets updates. When I do log into it, I can see the updates happening. It's just they made it for the Nest, and they made it perfect. And Starlink hasn't come out with any other products. They're not doing it for Ring or any other brand. They're just experts at the Nest platform, and they do a really great job. Oh, Philips Hue is my motion sensor. I have 2 Philips Hue hubs, about 90 light bulbs. Wow, you're all in with the Philips Hue. Yeah, I got just 1 hub, probably 6 Hue light bulbs. I have their gradient floor light. I have their dial. I have the motion sensor outside for Philips Hue. And then I got a bunch of products that work with Hue. So like the Friends of Hue partners. So it makes some really cool products. On the pricey side, which is understandable, I don't mind paying a good price for products that actually work. And stuff like Eve and Philips Hue, Ecobee, they have their thermostats on sale. They got the premium. I do not have the new Ecobee doorbell. I thought about picking it up because I have their thermostat. I think if there's a package or a Prime Day sale on there. Yeah, here it is. Let me show you this to you guys. So you can get the thermostat and the doorbell, 2 contact sensors, and one of the occupancy temperature sensors. Normally $490, and it is on sale for $369. And what's really cool about this is that you can get the video feed right there on the thermostat. Fortunately, doorbell doesn't work with Apple Home, so I've been told thermostat does, and their sensors I think do. I don't recall. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember if their sensors do, but I know their thermostat does. Good to have you here, Will. Yeah, you get what you pay for. Yeah. You gotta be careful sometimes, though. Because there are some brands like I don't want to throw them under the bus, but their pricing is just astronomical. And that, I can't pull it up because it's not on Amazon. I can't pull up other websites. Is the Robin doorbell. Works with Apple Home. That's like $1,600 for a doorbell that doesn't have the specs that it should. I can't justify that. No. Next is I have all my cameras, including my doorbell as Nest, thermostat 2. Everything's connected through Starlink Hub. Never had an issue. Nope. And I don't know if you've had it as long as I have, but remember when Google was kind of transitioning to Nest? Starlink sent out emails and say, hey, you're going to have to log off and log back on. I thought that was awesome. Just to let everyone know ahead of time that you're going to have an issue, but here's what to do. Simply log off, I think that you had to create a Nest account and log back on. And you just did it, and it just worked. So that's how it should be. Although I do consider it a hub. You know, I kind of bundle hubs, bridges, any types of those devices all as hubs. So I don't love having hubs. I think as a industry, we could have done better. Like, I understand the need for hubs and bridges, but I think if we want smart home stuff to be successful for everybody and for the industry, we got to come up with a better way. And I understand Matters, was supposed to be a solution, but it's just not. It's required even more hubs, and I just think, we could have done things differently. I wish we did things differently. I don't have the answers. No one does. But I understand why we have them, and they do. Our smart home does work better because of them, but I think we should have stopped a long time ago and said, hey, this doesn't make sense. We got to figure out another solution. Hopefully one day we will, whatever that technology might be. I'm thinking 20 years into the future that I wish I was there already when it comes to my smart home. Glad to have you, dude. Yeah. Starling. I wonder if Starling used to be on Amazon. I don't think they are anymore. Let's take a look. No, I don't see them anymore. There's a trend right now on YouTube, anti-hub. Yeah, I joined that club. But I have more hubs than probably anyone out there. I have a rack, and it's not a network rack, it's a hub rack. So your Pro Hub, okay. Lutron, Philips, Hue, yep, all the best hubs because you need it for the protocols like Zigbee. Yeah, I get it. Zigbee, Z-Wave. Some people might even think like a HomePod or a like a Dot or Alexa that have Zigbee in there and the Thread protocol or the Thread system in there as hubs also. But I guess technically they're not. But I understand the need for them. But I just wish it would all go away and we would come up with one system. You just put it in your house and it would just communicate with everything and it would just work. And I just wish 20 years from now, I wish we can jump into the future and just be there already, because having all these things just stresses me out. I understand them and I use them. Yes, I do. Home Assistant is the answer. Starling's not on Amazon in Canada either. Please don't make an anti-video. No, I won't. If anything, I promote hubs. With all my videos I put out, Cora has the M3 now, which I just bought a new for my network rack. I have a 1U holder. I don't know what else to call it. That holds my Philips Hue bridge, my Lutron bridge, a Pi, and it used to be an M2, but I just had the guy recreate it. It's 3D printed, and I had him recreate it for a M3 hub. So I get rid of my M2, and it's all nicely neat into my network rack. Really beautiful design. I've shown it in some videos. I never did a full video on my network rack. Maybe I'll get around to it, but love my network rack. It's definitely one of the best things I created years and years ago before people started doing it. I never put out a video on it. I did some photos on Instagram years and years ago, and then some other people started doing it, and they actually made a network rack. Mine is a hub rack because I don't have a wired network in my house. I wish I did. Keep saying that I'm going to do that, but I currently do not. So it is a bracket, so it's not a shelf. It uses 1U, but it's 3D printed, and you put in your hubs and you screw it in, and it's not a shelf. Yeah, it's actually 3D printed and designed for those particular hubs or bridges, perfectly sized. Matter bridge, yeah, it's just naming. YouTube gets tiring when you see the same video 15 times. I love watching some of the channels, but it's hard to watch the same video over and over. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. There's a lot of creators out there. A lot of them I consider friends. I have their cell phone number. I've met them in person. Great people, down to earth, salt of the earth. And they do the exact same thing full time, which is great for them. They do sponsored content. I don't do sponsored content. That's just a personal preference of mine. And I still do this for fun, even though I have full-time income from it. It's not my full-time job. I do it for fun, and I just want to keep it as a fun thing. But yeah, I can understand all these channels putting out very similar content, even channels that are, at the 1 million plus level. They're putting out very similar content also on, when Apple makes a drop, or an announcement, they're all putting out pretty much a very similar video. So totally get it. And unfortunately, there's not enough time in the day. I wish I could watch them all, because they do some amazing content, which I used to have a lot more time, but I just don't anymore. So I love your videos on automations. I watched those so many times and got some incredible ideas. And unfortunately, I don't have that many. I do more products. I thought about changing up the content, but I gotta do stuff that I'm interested in. And yes, I have automations, but they're not crazy. I try to make suggestions during a product video every now and then, but and I know people create specific content like top 10 automations, that type of thing. But to me, I just don't love that type of content. Like, I understand why people like it. It gives them suggestions on what to do. But if, as a creator, I gotta like it also. And if I'm just creating a video just to create a video, just to get views, it's just not cool with me. I gotta enjoy it. So, I just enjoy looking at new products. I'm a product guy. That's just the way I am. So I do dabble into other stuff every now and then. I do build stuff, like you've seen my door video. I have a bunch of things I've actually built for automations that I've never done videos on, just because they're so time consuming. Maybe one day I will. So. But yeah, I know I do a lot of product videos. Yeah, they're definitely good people. Yeah. Love to hanging out with them. Met up with a lot of the smart home people over the years, and a lot of non-smart home people too. Used to go to Vid Summit every year. I haven't been in the last 2 years. I think Vid Summit used to be for creators. Yeah, I just think they kind of lost their way and they got too big. And now Vid Summit is for fans, and it's just not just for creators anymore. Yeah. If you don't try, it's contrived. Yeah. Appreciate content you make, see what you like. Yeah. Hey, I tell it like it is. If I like something, tell it. If I don't, if I find cons, I'm gonna say it. If I totally hate it, I'm gonna not do a video on it. I don't want to badmouth a company or a product. It's just there's too many decent products and too many decent brands out there to waste time with. That if it's totally sucky product, it's not going to do it. I'm going to be like, not worth my time. And if they provide the product to me, hey, give me a label, ship it back to you. I'm not in this for free product. If you don't like it, it's contrived. Yeah. Yep. So it is. It definitely is. All right. But what is awesome product is some Lutron stuff. Gotta love Lutron. One of the most reliable smart home products out there. Most reliable brands and they definitely have some Prime Day sales today. Most of the Prime Day sales are going to be kits. So if you're looking for one or two switches, see if it makes sense to buy the entire kit. It might be cheaper, and maybe you can sell the bridge separately. Sell it on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. You just have to work out the math to see if it's worth it. But they have some of their kits on sale. They have their new Diva Switch, new Decor Switch. This is the Pico, which they also announced, I think it was yesterday. The new Diva Pico remotes now have 6 new colors. So all their previous colors they had in their normal physical Switch, they now have that in their Pico remotes. They're a little bit pricey, but they are definitely very well worth it in my opinion. So if you're looking for the best light switch out there, smart light switch out there, and it's actually the only brand of smart home stuff, except for I do have Alexa in my father-in-law's house, but other than that, Lutron is the only smart home products that I will put into his house because it's just gotta work. He's not the type of guy who, if something's not working, if he's telling Lady A to do something, or if he's using, Alexa, the Alexa app, or automation, that I set up to turn on his outdoor lights does not turn on, he's gonna flip out, and he's gonna start messing with it because he doesn't want to call me, and then next thing I know, he's gonna be ripping out the switch and ripping out the electrical panel. He might not go that far, but he just, and it could just have been like a simple reset, but he just flips out over little small stuff. So it has to work 100%, and Lutron is definitely the brand to do that. So they have a couple kit sales, so check them out. Let's see if I can bring one up really quick. That's their old one. Where's their Diva? There it is. It's not listed as a Prime Day sale, but in my app it is. All right, it's 25% off normally. 120 is on sale for $90. And you can see here, you get the one physical switch. Let's bring this over here. Let's move my face out of the way. And then you get one Pico remote. Really cool system, and then you also get the bridge. So if you're new to Lutron, definitely make sure you get the bridge. That way it works with your smart home platform of choice. Yeah, they are a little bit more expensive, and I still have a lot of the old style. And to be honest, I don't mind the old style. I don't know which one I prefer, but I definitely don't mind the old style. So if I had to buy new ones and I wanted to watch the budget a little bit, I probably would buy the old ones, just because the style was not that bad. I kind of liked having the individual buttons. So, but I understand other people's point of view also, where it kind of looked like a confusing light switch, but once you understand, you have on and off, you got the dimming in between, it's really not that hard. So I have Lutron, and the only things I have are audio Picos for Sonos, a bunch of them. Yeah. So I have no Sonos stuff, but I've seen those little Pico remotes that you can have for the audio Sonos speakers. I actually have a Pico remote for the blind, the Serena Shades. that have it looks like a blind on the Pico remote, and I think somewhere you could find a bunch of different Pico remotes with different things like it says different things like you can have it customized with different scenes, or if it's not customizable, it kind of has like a good night scene. It says good night on the top. Like you can have like 4 switches, but as a Pico remote, and they're kind of expensive. They're part of their Pro line, and I'm not quite sure if you can use it with the standard bridge. I think I've heard that you could, but they're really, really expensive for what they are. But it's really nice that it has a good night scene. It has like a come home scene or something. There's like 4 different buttons, but they are definitely pricey. I thought about picking some of those up just to see if they actually work with that bridge. I have the IKEA lamps and other ones that blend in. I like not seeing the speakers. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you should see stuff. Smart home stuff should not be seen. I've seen those Picos, yeah. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if it works with the standard bridge or you have to get the Pro bridge. I just don't remember what I was told. So, but I know they were really expensive, especially since they're pretty much the exact same thing. But you know, you want to consider them Pro. All right, let's see what else is in the carousel. Their Pico, not their Pico, but the Lutron plug, if I can find the video, is on sale. This is a dimmer plug that I have in my father's house, and this does have dimming capabilities, but you can program it just to be on and off. So if you did want to use this with something that's not a lamp, even though they recommend not to use it with lamps, you can have on and off capabilities, but you have to make sure you turn off the dimming capabilities within the app. And then also the outdoor plug, which you can see right here. Absolutely love it. It's built like a tank. I have 2 of those outdoor plugs. That's on sale today. Also, that is 20% off. The smart plug, dimmer plug, is 30% off. So if you're looking for the best of the best, when it comes to Lutron, is the best, but they are definitely pricey. And I think I gotta be honest here, that plug is kind of ugly, but it works. Works 100% of the time, and that's what I have to have in my father-in-law's house. Those things are pretty awesome. I have a bunch of Wi-Fi outdoor plugs, which were 90% reliable, but the Lutron, once I got an extender, it it's never failed. So I did have to get an extender out there, or it's not outside; it's just in the opposite side of the main bridge. And once I got that extender, both of my outdoor smart plugs from Lutron work 100% of the time, and I just absolutely love them. But they are pricey, even on Prime Day sale at $80. They're probably still double the price of normal Wi-Fi outdoor smart plugs out there. But like I said, if you want it to work 100% of the time, and you got to pay the price. But that thing is built like a tank. I remember when I first got it, it was heavy, and I was like, wow, this thing is a brick. All right, we talked about that. We got some Nano Leaf stuff. I can show you the Nano Leaf that we're going to be talking about right behind me. I call these the birds. Let me get rid of this comment. And then control the camera. Hopefully I go the right way. There they are. So the Nano Leaf triangles. This is 3 kits, I think. So you have to make sure you get the right kits. and then it has the linkers in between each of them. So I have 4 linkers, and I just made them to look like birds. I saw a photo of something very similar. I was like, oh, that'd be really cool to put up there. I don't love seeing the wire, unfortunately. I thought about hiding it behind and putting a outlet behind one of the birds, but that's just another project that I've never got around to, but will one day. So those are nail leaf triangles, or nail leaf shapes, and those are on sale today. Let's see what the kit looks like, because I got different kits. I think the starter kit for the triangles, yeah, I think is 10, but let's see. Let's pull it up and take a look. Here's the black ones. I do have the black ones also. That's Govee. Where are you? Where are you? Did they change the pricing of this? No, here it is. Bring this over here. Bear with me for 1 second. Just can't find the product I'm wanting to talk about. Okay, here it is. All right, so this is a starter kit, 7-pack. So this is for the larger triangles, but if you did want to make the birds like I have back over here, you'll have to buy additional kits to make it the shape that you want. And all the shapes, I think there's 3 different shapes. They have large triangles, small triangles, and hexagons, and they all can use the same connector. You can connect them, make them into a bunch of designs. They have a bunch of websites, and on their Instagram feed, they show other people's designs. And really, some people are just brilliant when it comes to their design with their nanoleaf shapes. And I'm just jealous, and I can't imagine the budget that they have. I've seen people do an entire room of nanoleaf stuff, and it's not cheap. So even on sale, 10% off, you get 7 triangles. I mean, each triangle, what is that? $17 each? No, yeah, is it $17? No, something like that. It's expensive. So, but they are pretty cool. They work well. They look well. Good colors, and you can bring them into your favorite smart home and put them into automation. You can use them as background when you're live streaming or doing YouTube social media stuff. And there's also our talking point when people come in here. They're like, "Oh, those are so cool," and they want to know about them. So really cool stuff on sale, 10% off. Thank you. Mike has the triangles and the hexagons in his son's room. Yeah, they're cool. So I have these here. I have their wooden, well, they're not wood, they're plastic, but they look like wood down in my wife's office. I have the hexagons in the basement. I have the black triangles over here on the black wall. What else do I have? Under my daughter's bed, I have a bunch of nanoleaf light strips. I got a lot of nanoleaf stuff. I know I'm missing some. So they make great products. They're just expensive. All right, moving on. Philips Hue. We talked about Philips Hue a little bit earlier with Mike. I think he is a fan. The wood kit. Yeah, they're unique. They're different. I don't know if I love them though. As far as like when I first got them, they were different. They were cool, but I actually don't turn them on that much. I mean, one, they're in my wife's office, so I'm not in there that often. But um, I kind of feel like you have to have the right design for the room. So if you have like a wood decor to a room, those will fit perfectly. But for a standard room, like this room is mostly like off white. I do have a black wall over there. I have bamboo tabletops. That's the only wood that's really in here. Um, so having those wood ones in here would not make sense. But if you have a wood decor, then those would definitely fit in. But they don't do color. They're just different whites. So they do warm white and cool white, but no colors. But people do think they're wood, even when you're pretty close. Until you touch them, you think they're wood. Yeah, the style has to match. Yep. Which I don't have any room in my house that's really wood. So my wife has actually asked me to take them down, and I haven't. So only because I don't have a place to put them. They're just going in storage with all my other things. So I don't even. We should come up with a name for the pile and pile old smart home stuff. I want to sell it. I just don't have time to sell it. I thought about hiring someone. Actually, my wife is trying to sell some of the robot vacuums for me. I do have a couple people working for me, but they're helping me put out content or edit content. And they're just part-time. And I need someone else to I need someone who is an expert at like Facebook Marketplace, especially for these smart vacuums, because you can't ship them. Shipping costs would just eat into it. Would be the entire thing. So plus getting a new box in the box, probably $50 just for a box that size. Yeah. So I have taken down. Oh, I have the nail leaf lines over there. That's how I know some of this adhesive is pretty strong. Sorry, that was my wife. So yeah, I have the nano leaf lines, and I had to take them down and move them, and I did not do it correctly, and I actually ruined the wall a little bit. So I know that you have to kind of go slow. You kind of have to go sideways and don't pull it straight off, because you just pull off that top layer of the drywall. So you definitely have to be careful getting off that adhesive. I actually have some places, actually one right behind me. If you watch some of my current videos, how can I show that? Right there. I actually edit that part out. It's kind of blurred out. What was here? I think I had another wire or something here, and I ripped it off and I ruined the wall. So I gotta get someone to fix that. I'm just another project that has to be done, and just not enough time in the day. And I don't do drywall. I'm pretty handy, but I do not like drywall. I can do it. It never looks good, and I just want to hire somebody to do it. So I have a bunch of like painting and drywall fixes that need to be done in the house. I'm just gonna have someone come in and do it pretty soon, just because I got too many of the other projects for me. So, all right. Let's see what else. Oh, Philips Hue. Philips Hue has a couple of products on Prime Day sale. So, Mike, I don't know if you want 62 and 63 bulbs. Hue bulbs. You can always use a few more. Oh, here's a three set of their white and color ambient bulbs. Normally $135. It's on sale for $75.99. So about $25 a bulb. And most people will be like, you pay $25 for a light bulb? Well, you understand how good they look and how well they function with that Zigbee and the bridge and everything else. Yeah, I can understand it. I don't have too many smart bulbs. I do have a few Philips Hue, and they're just great. The Philips Hue brand altogether, yes, they are overpriced, but they also work. They look great, function well. So good stuff. As one of their products that are on sale, I also have. Let's see if we can find it. Their gradient light stand, or floor light. Now this is not official Prime Day, but it is on sale, and I do have it. Love it. Let's see if I have a video on it. I can show you what it looks like in action. Here it is in action. So normally I paid over $300 for this, and it's now on sale, 19% off, $266. And here's the black wall I was talking about. Oh, let me move my face out of here. So turn off this comment. Whoop. So you can see it. So I kind of just throw the light against the black wall, and then I have the nano leaf. Oh, I thought I turned off this comment. I'll come back to it. So here's a shot. So on the left is the nano leaf lines, and I did finally hide this wire. I do have a black wire hider, so I'm no longer seeing that white wire, which I couldn't stand. And then the Philips Hue gradient floor lamp is right there in the middle, bouncing the light off. Really cool effect. And then to the right, you can see, right, kind of see, not really focused, but those are the black nano leaf triangles shapes. And then right under that, you can see the white light switches, the 3 white light switches, and I recently redid all those to be now black, which are all Lutron switches. So it's really nice. I have that black wall, and all the devices on there are black. It really, it's a nice design. Once everything is on, I do shoot a video occasionally over here as a backdrop, and it looks really cool. So really love this floor lamp. It is pricey at $266, but really great colors, great brightness. And I've had competitors, and they're not as bright, they're not as vibrant. Plus, you have to put it together. I found another brand that you have to put together. This one just comes in one big box. You take it out of the box, and it's just ready to go. The other brands, it's like little pieces that you have to put together. You have to tuck in the light strip, and it's not hard. It's just you would just wish it was done for you. And Philips Hue did that. They just made one big product. Yeah, I'm sure they have to pay extra for shipping because of the larger, bigger box, but it's the way that should be. So that is the Philips Hue floor lamp, gradient floor lamp, and you can have 3 different colors going at the same time. And it does work with Apple Home, which is my primary platform. Unfortunately, you can't get the gradient in the Apple Home app, but you can definitely select single colors. And you can definitely have automations. So that is $330, normally $330 on sale, 19% off, $266 today. All right, let's see what Mike is saying. When the drywall paper gets ruined, it's tough to get perfect unless you know how. Yeah, I've tried a million times and it never looks right. Yeah. I don't know if I'm too much of a perfectionist when it comes to that. And when pros do it, I'm just like, okay, that looks great, and just move on. But when I'm doing it myself, I'm just, okay, let's put on the spackle and the compound, whatever it's called. If it needs a patch, I put on a patch, put on the tape, whatever it needs. I know how to do it. I've watched all the YouTube videos on how to do it, but it just never turns out the way I should. I sand it down, and I just never like it. It's never flat enough. It's not perfect. And I just eventually I give up and I just paint it and try not to look at it because it's just an eyesore to me. Colors are $60 in Canada. So crazy. I buy them on sale. Yeah, I don't blame you. $60. Wow. And you got 60 plus. Wow. TV light strips on sale. Let's take a look. So I actually have one, Mike. If you want to reach out to me, I might sell you the one I have. It's never been used. I have the Hue sync box and everything. I think it's the 55-inch one. I'll give you a good price on it. Only thing, I'm in the US and you're in Canada, so we would have to figure it out. So I don't know if it would be worth it. Shipping is just crazy these days. Let's see. Hue TV light. So I bought it on Prime Day sale probably 2 or 3 years ago. And I was planning on installing it. But the reason I didn't is because I already have light strips on all my TVs. And they're not the gradient light strips. They're not the ones that constantly change colors. And I just love the single color. I have purple behind all my screens and it just looks great. And I can't bring myself to change that. Why fix something that's not broken? Plus, with the Philips Hue sync box, it's only with HDMI. I think you can download an app or something, and you can have stuff if you're using some TV sync box. You can have it synced with that, but otherwise it has to come through HDMI. It's not one of those ones with a camera that can see what's on the screen to change the colors. But I do think there's an app that can do some programs, but otherwise it has to come through HDMI. I don't see it on sale. No. They're 55-inch. Here it is right here. $184.99. So it is non sale. I don't know if I have the 55-inch or 65-inch. Let me take a look to see what I bought. I have a feeling it might be 65. Ooh, 75. I have the 75 version. That's right now $299, $300. So yeah, I bought it November 28th, 2022, which was I remember buying on Prime Day. I don't know if that was an actual Prime Day or what. Maybe it was just a lightning deal or something. It is what I know. I got it on sale. I know that. Yeah, they're pretty cool, and they have the smaller ones also, and they have a couple other things that you can put around TVs and cabinets and that type of stuff. Really cool colors, and the gradient just looks amazing. All right, next item in the carousel, we have some SwitchBot stuff. Absolutely love SwitchBot. They're very innovative when it comes to new products. And this is one that I thought was pretty cool. This is now their third version of the SwitchBot curtain. And they really listened to their customers, and they really updated this to make sure that it was powerful enough. It was quiet, has a quiet mode. So if you're looking for something that can open and close your curtains automatically, no matter if it's on a rail, this is the rod version, or if it's on a rail, like an I rail or U rail, it can automatically open up. You just have to make sure you get the right version. And this is on sale today. Let's see. SwitchBot curtain 3. You can see it opening, closing right about there. I did pull it. You're able to pull it also, and it can automatically open when you tug on it. That's just one of the many ways that you can open this up. You can also automate it based off of time. If you have temperature sensors, you can definitely, if the room gets too hot, you can close the curtains. Here it is, $62.99, 30% off. And this is the rod version. They also have the U-rail version. And then they have the solar panel, which you don't have to have the solar panel, but if you have enough sunlight and you want to have less hands on it charging up, I forget how long the battery lasts. Obviously, it depends on how often you use it, but under normal circumstances where it opens and closes 1 and 2 days, 1 or 2 times per day. Let's see here. I forget. I thought it was like 8 months or something like that. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember exactly. But it was a good time. I actually never charged mine. So whenever I did the review, it's still working today. But then again, I also don't open and close it every day. It does have solar panels on the one that I have, but it's not really close to a window. It has some, like it has skylights nearby, but I don't think it's getting much energy from those skylights. I'll show you what it looks like. So you can see right there hanging down, this is the back of it. I'm underneath of it, and then the skylights above. I'm trying to point the skylights or the solar panels at the skylights. So I don't know if they're actually getting power. I don't think they are, because they're not really in the sun. But then again, I have not had to have these charges up since I've done the review, and they're still working. So really cool. SwitchBot curtain, normally $90. It is on sale for $62.99. Oh my god, we're going for an hour and a half. Hey, when you're having fun, time flies, man. Time flies. But I think we're coming down the final stretch. Yeah, all SwitchBot stuff. Mike, you have any SwitchBot stuff? Are the black shapes limited? So when it first came out, it was supposedly called limited edition, or limited, but it's now pretty mainstream. And I think they also came out with black hexagons. Yeah, leaf black. Let's take a look. Yeah, you can find both the black hexagons, triangles. Are these the mini triangles? Yep, mini black. So you can find all 3 nail leaf shapes in the black edition. And what's nice about the black edition is that the colors are more saturated, just because the background is black. So keep that in mind. I thought they would look pretty cool. And when you have a black wall like I do, it just looks amazing. And it has a black wire too. I don't remember if the power source is black. Let's take a look. Let's see. I think I have a video on it. Oh, it has sound, so I can't play it. All right. Yeah, does. He has a sync box. Shipping insane. All right, yeah. Message me if you want the 75. We can work something out. We can figure it out. Yeah. So when I bought it, um, I noticed that those are designed for 3 sides. So I'm not quite sure if you get something longer, can you do the 4th side or not? And are they trying to sell you the little Phillips Hue gradient thing that goes under a TV, or can you actually use a longer light strip? I just don't know. So my TV's, I think the one I wanted to put it on is 80-inch, so I got the 75, but it would only cover 3 sides. So I was okay with that. But then again, I wasn't okay with it because I have the light strip now. I have a LifeX light strip that turns on automatically with my. I still use a Harmony hub on that TV, and it just turns on with the Harmony hub when the TV turns on, and it just looks great. It's purple. That's the color I picked. It's gray on the eyes. It's dim. It's just kind of makes it a little bit easier to see TV, and it looks great. And people come over, they look at it, and they're like, "Wow, that looks amazing." So I just couldn't bring myself to replacing that when I love it. So it's been sitting here in a box and never did anything with it. Switchbot hub, 3 bots. Nice. Yeah. And do you have those in Home Assistant? One on surround sound, one on premium machine, and one. Oh, cool. Very cool. Make that coffee early in the morning. Do a cappuccino. I used to have a couple of the bots on different things, but taking them off. But I use other SwitchBot products throughout the house. Just don't have a huge need for the bots anymore. If it ain't broke, yep, I get it. But sometimes I do it for the channel, do it for fun, and sometimes I just can't bring myself to do it. In that case, all right, next item in the carousel. Like, I really appreciate you being here, dude. Oh, Ryan's on Amazon, but that was an hour ago. Not really checking the comments on Amazon as I should. He said hello. Can't bring those up into this software. All right. Next item in the carousel is turn the live stream. The bots. We do have bots on sale. And when I did use these, I did have it on a coffee machine. Do I have a video on it? SwitchBot Blind. I thought I had a video on it. I don't see it in the mute list. So really cool little devices. Mike can tell you about them. They're really cool to pretty much put them on devices that are not smart, that has a physical button, and you can just have this little finger come out and press it, and you can bring it into your smart home assistant of choice. Mike says he is drawing PowerPoints for work. Nice. Nice. I haven't done a PowerPoint in years. So I did do what's the Google version of PowerPoint? I forget what it's called. Is it Sheets? No, Sheets is Excel. I forget what the Google version is. I did mess around with that recently, but that was helping my wife with something that she was designing. And we just, in our office, we use a lot of the Google Suites. We have the emails and the documents and the Drive. And was like, why don't you just write this in, whatever it was called. And it was super easy to use, and it turned out great. She did her little presentation. And it was awesome. Google Slides. Yep, that's what it's called. Yeah, we used to do a lot of Microsoft stuff. Never did the online Microsoft stuff. We kind of transitioned from, the actual programs to a Google online platform for our business, and it's just where we've been ever since. It works for us. I know there's a lot of other options out there now, but hey, if something works and they're updating it, Google is, for the things that we're using it for, they maintain it works well. Our customers are happy. Hey, we're happy too. So, all right. Will the switchback curtain rod work on vertical blinds? So vertical blinds. So I don't know. I think you could. The issue with the vertical blinds is that they twist. So if you have vertical blinds, you first, I remember this as a young kid, as my dad used to yell at me when I used to pull the string to open the vertical blinds, but I would not use the rod to fully tilt them straight. So that is one thing with the vertical blinds that I can think of, is that you can use the rod or the curtain to push them, but you're not going to be in the right position. So you can't pull them all the way. I actually did a video years and years ago. I forget the name of the product. And I actually used 2 of their motors. So the vertical blinds I had was actually pull strings, not just to open them up, but also to tilt them. So I had 2 of their motors to pull on their pull strings, and I just timed it correctly. I had commands within the program I was using to first tilt them, and then 5 seconds later to start opening them up, and vice versa when I was closing them. That way, it would fully open and fully close. But something like this, I can't think of a way to turn them. I guess you could use a different device to turn them, but as far as one device to do both the turning, the tilting, and to actually push it open, just one device I can't think of here. You would have to use 2. Hope that answered your question. All right. So we talked about SwitchBot bots. And one of their newest products, the SwitchBot Lock Pro. And this is a retrofit lock. Some people don't like the look of this, but I don't mind it. And it's really easy to install. You just have to replace the back of the lock where the thumb knob is. And the outside is going to look exactly the same. And then just the inside is going to look different. So you get to keep the same key. And you can see here, you can also press the button to open it, or you can turn the knob. And then obviously automations, like main automations I have is when everyone leaves the house, everything locks up. 9 o'clock, everything locks up. And then I have another automation at, it's either midnight or 1 o'clock, to lock everything up once again, just in case someone goes out after 9, it will lock once again. I have a couple smart locks that you can program after a certain time. It will always lock. I don't recall if this SwitchBot does that or not. I might have mentioned it in the full review. But I like smart locks that have that feature, but that's not in Apple Home. You have to create the actual automation at a specific time or based off of a contact. You can say when the door shuts, the lock, but I actually like to keep my, don't tell anyone, but hey, I'm talking to the world, kind of telling everyone I keep my doors unlocked during the day. But when I'm not home, they do lock. But when I'm home, I don't care. So here I am removing the old SwitchBot lock for the new version. And there, that glue was tough. Yeah, I actually burnt my hand when I did that. So it's really cool. This one, you take off that back, and you actually screw it into the lock itself. Where the old version you actually glued on or screwed on. I glued it on. And this new version is just as easy to install, but you do have to remove that back thumb screw. Like it says, it looks good, but it sticks out a lot. Yeah, it does. It's a big lock. The newer Core U200 is actually bigger, but doesn't stick out as far. So from top to bottom, it's bigger, and I think it's a little bit wider. I think the as far as being wide, it's about the same, but it's definitely taller in both directions when it's on the doors. But the SwitchBot Pro does stick out quite a bit. To me, I don't mind it too much, but I know a lot of people do. I think some people said that in my comments. It's super easy to install. I think I missed this one. Blind tilt, not curtain. So the same thing. So if you the blind tilt, you gotta have the rod that's gonna tilt. So you can tilt the vertical blinds as long as you can have a place to mount it. So there's that sticky pad at the very top of the SwitchBot tilt. It has to have it fixed. Otherwise, if it's just fixed to the rod, it's just going to spin around and it's not going to actually open up. So it's got to be stuck on something. It has to have a fixed point, and then once it starts turning that rod, then it will actually open up wherever you're trying to open up. Excuse me. So as long as you can fix it to whoever's up there, it will work to tilt it. But if you don't have a place to actually put it, then no. And I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. Is it? Yeah. So you can kind of see where it kind of loops up over there. There's a double-sided adhesive. So it's using that top part of the blind to actually have that fixed point. So here I have it hidden by the actual cover, by the I forget what is that called, a vance? I forget what that top part is, but it does have a fixed point that it does have to glue on. There, so there's without the top part on, you can see it's glued onto that top part right there. Yeah, it's definitely has to have a fixed point. I did have one recently fall off, but I just put new adhesive on there, and it was, I think it was the one that was they sent to me before the launch, so they actually redesigned it. I'm not sure if this is the old design. Yeah, I think this is the old design. The very first design, the pre-launch design, which the top of it is a little bit different. It's basically the same thing. It just looks a little different in the actual production model. But that one did fall off after 2 years, and I just put new adhesive on, and it was good to go. All the other ones, I have like 6 of these, and they work great. I have ones that work better as far as battery life than other ones, just because of that solar panel. If it's facing the sun, it's going to get more power, and the ones that don't, I have to charge up. I actually don't take them down, which I learned the hard way. If you take it down, you're going to have to reprogram you're going to have to recalibrate it. So what I actually do when I have to charge it up is actually just bring a battery pack and a long cable, and I charge it up that way. But it doesn't have to be charged up that often. That solar panel does do a good job. There's, like I said, there are ones that I haven't ever had their charge up because it gets enough sun. And then I do have two facing the front that I do have to charge up every few months. Thinking about falling lines except the basement sliding door has the verticals. Yeah. So what's funny is that my basement sliding door, where I did that video where I had two motors open up the vertical blinds, was a sliding door. And maybe 2 months after I did that video, I had a contractor come in and replace that door with a French door. So I got rid of that, the vertical blinds that were there, and I put in a Lutron blind, not thinking ahead of time that a sliding glass door does not actually swing out, where once the French doors were installed, it actually hit the top of the Lutron blinds or the Lutron shades. And I, instead of mounting it within the frame, which was what I sized it for, to be within the shade for the door, the French door, I actually had to put it above. So you kind of have some light exposure on the side, which I don't love, but you know, I can't buy another one. They're way too expensive. So for that location, it is what it is. It's in the basement. Not a lot of people go down there, and it looks great. And most people won't even notice that it's the wrong size, except for me. But to answer your question, let's see. I don't have land. Like Herons, I'm thinking about all my blinds are automated except this is I have the verticals. Yeah. So, yeah. Like you can look at my video that I did. I forget the name of the system. But if you have, if you just want to tilt it, if you have a rod, it has to have a fixed point. If you have pull strings, you can. There's a lot of them now out there on the market that you can just have it mounted and fixed to the side. That's the only thing I can think about. Yeah. 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 If you don't want to replace the vertical blinds, yeah, that's the thing. You have to see what you can mount it to. So. Maybe you can jerry rig something. So you have to have something. What is the vertical blinds attached to? Can you mount something to that where you can mount the tilt to that extra piece that you put on there? You might just have to jerry rig something. You know, without seeing it, it's hard to say. All right. And then the last item in the carousel. I think I can mount it. Cool. Yeah. Give it a shot. No. You know, the best thing about Amazon, which I'm sure Amazon Canada is the same, is, you know, their return policy. If things doesn't work for you, you got, 30 days to return it. So just make sure you buy it with a return policy, because, you know, if it doesn't work, ship it on back. All right, last but not least, SwitchBot K10 Smart Vacuum, which is a super tiny smart vacuum. Some people say it's like a handheld smart vacuum. Kind of, you can hold it in your hand, but it's bigger than your hand. I actually have this in my office. We actually had a time where we did not have a cleaning lady. So I decided to bring this to the office because I had extra smart vacuums, and what I loved about this was that it was so small. It was not a huge eyesore like the bigger vacuums. I could kind of like tuck it out under something and no one would know that it was there. But then at night, it would come out and vacuum the entire office. So having something like this is really nice because of the size. So if you're looking for something small, you can look at the difference here. Look at the difference in size. It's probably about a quarter of the size. So if you're looking for something smaller, maybe you have a smaller like a efficiency or a one-bedroom apartment. This is a great vacuum. It's not the most powerful thing, but it does do a great job at mapping your location or your floors. It doesn't mop, even though you can put like a wet pad on there. But as far as mopping, it's really not a mop. It's just a vacuum. And it does have automatic self emptying. So when it goes back to the base station, it will actually suck out all the dust and debris out of the robot into the base station. And then you clean out that base station bag like every 6 to 8 months, depending on how dirty your property is. So really cool smart vacuum that is on sale. SwitchBot A10. And don't get confused, by the way, between the K10 and the S10. The S10 is their flagship that has 2 stations. It has a base station, then it also has a water refill station, an emptying station. But this one does not have mopping. You know, like the listing says, it does have mop combo, but I tell you right now, do not get this for mopping. It does not do mopping very well at all. And it's just by the time you put on the pad and you clean your 5 feet, you're going to have to put on a new pad. And it should never be advertised as something that could mop. Just because you could clean it up faster than you can actually mop with this smart vacuum. So just keep that in mind. It's just a robot vacuum with a small base station, and it's on sale 25% off. Normally $400 is now $300. And if you have a SwitchBot Hub 2 with Matter support, you can bring this in to your smart home platform of choice, including Apple Home, but understand that it's just basic control on and off. Can't room select or anything else. Just go out, clean. It's going to follow wherever you have scheduled. And then you can turn it off. It'll go back to the base station and charge up. Like says, the S10 would be so good hooking up to plumbing. Yeah, it is pretty cool. I don't know if they were the first. I know there's other brands that have the ability. I know Dreamy has the ability. I think Roborock has 1 or 2 that now can do it. I don't know who was first. I know SwitchBot had the K10 on Kickstarter a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I forget exactly. So there's a timing of it, of who was actually designed it first and then who actually brought it to market first. But having the dual station, the water station and the dust station, charging station, it's just brilliant in my opinion, because filling up the water and emptying it out all the time is a huge inconvenience. So having that combination is just brilliant in my opinion. My house has a sunken laundry, or I would have considered that for sure. Yeah. That's the downside to a lot of the smart vacuums, is that they can't handle a step or a sunken living room or anything like that. There is that one that's on Kickstarter that can do steps. I'm not sure if that's actually going to come out. Looks pretty cool. I think eventually one day we'll get there. But in the meantime, I have like one on every level. I have so many smart vacuums. Yeah. And my wife is telling me they gotta go. All right. So that is the stream for tonight. A lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Thanks to all the people that visited and watched. Mike, you've been here the longest. Appreciate you, dude. Hope you finished up your PowerPoint presentation. And hopefully I kept you a little entertained. It was always good talking to you. And it's definitely a lot more fun when someone else talks to you rather than just talking to yourself. So as always, I appreciate you being here. And if you guys are new to either if you're on YouTube, you're watching on Modern Day Reviews, that's where I put these streams. Basically, I have dual streams. I'm actually streaming to Amazon. My main platform is Amazon, so you can visit my Amazon page, which is I don't know if I have a link for that. Let's see here. It's just Amazon/shop or Amazon.com/shop/modern day tech. And if you want to check out my tech channel, you can find me at Modern Day Tech pretty much everywhere. Instagram I couldn't get. I had to get modern_day_tech. So definitely check out that channel. I appreciate you being here. And if you guys have any questions, hit me up. I'm always available to answer your questions, and love to help you guys out. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys on next stream, which I might do one later. I'm trying to get my wife to do one. So I usually like to do 3 or 4 live streams on Prime Day. You know, just keep it fresh and different. Keep me on my toes. It's cool. All right, Mike. Thanks for being here. Talk to you later. Good night. Oop. Where's my outro? Outro. Good night.
When I got that fresh cut, new outfit, A-Town fitted, got it bent to the same side. I'm leaning in the coupe, leaning in the coupe with. Clicked up with the squad, hey, you seen us? Listen to the music, pay attention to the genius. I took some time off, but I came back. I apologize for the sudden inconvenience. Excuse me, cause I'm feeling myself right now, and I can't calm down, cause I'm back now and taking you back down. Memory lane, baby, before we was famous, before the hiatus, before we had haters, when we was doing shows and nobody would pay us, when we was at the station and they still wouldn't play us, but we stayed on the ground so they can't say that they made us. Okay then, but it's cool that it stay like that, and you may think it's new, but it came like that. Everybody get a chance, let me state my facts. They said I fell off, but I came right back. Yeah, I came right back. Let's retrace my tracks. Before you heard her chasing, there was A-Town stat. My baby said she like it when I sing like that, so I'ma give it to him like I did way back. And it feels so good. Hey, hey, sing it. You know it feels so good. And it feels so good. Yeah. You know it feels so good. And it feels so good. Hey, now let me hear you sing it now. You know it feels so good. And it feels real, 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 real good. Real good. Ooh, I got the juice. You want the answers, I got the proof. You had the music up by the noose. You tried to kill it, well I cut it loose. I've been at it for so long. A lot of people probably feel I'm so wrong. Never had a chance to put my crew on, so I'm thankful that the bond we got is too strong. Get it by the fast track, we passed that. Yeah, you know we had to backtrack to get the cash back. Going up like the